Hearing those merciless taunts, Chloe's heart sank. She barged into the crowd, tearing the letters apart one by one. Just as she finished, Gabriella's sharp, deliberately saccharine voice pierced her ears. "Nick, Chloe has confessed to you so many times. How much good feeling do you actually have for her?" Nicholas's voice was as cold and detached as ever. He uttered only a single word. "Zero." With both main characters present and Chloe publicly humiliated, the laughter from the crowd grew more gleeful and unrestrained. Some troublemakers, fearing the drama would die down, deliberately taunted her in mocking tones. "Chloe, you've confessed 99 times and only got a big, fat 0. Don't you think you should try harder? When's the next confession? We should all come watch. Maybe we can give you some pointers." Chloe's fists clenched around the shredded remains of the love letters, her knuckles turning white from the pressure. Words rushed to the tip of her tongue, but as she saw the amused, expectant looks from everyone around her, she swallowed them back. Instead, she let out a scornful laugh. Raising the torn papers high like a battle standard, she made her declaration. "My 100th confession. It will be in the school's central plaza. December 3rd, 9 a.m. The entire student body is welcome to come. Bring your friends." Without waiting for a reaction, Chloe gritted her teeth, held her head high, and strode away from the scene. She didn't attend classes that morning. Instead, she went home. The faucet dripped as she filled a basin to the brim with cold water. Without a moment's hesitation, she plunged her face into the icy depths. Only when her lungs screamed for air did she push herself up, gasping, water streaming down her face. The fog of anger began to clear from her mind. Staring at her now calm reflection in the mirror, she methodically tore every last love letter to shreds. She then burned the pieces, watching them turn to ash and wash every trace down the drain. That weekend, a message popped up in the long-dormant club chat. A sudden meet was announced. Needing to submit her withdrawal form, Chloe decided to go. But the moment she pushed the door open, she froze. Nicholas, who never attended these casual gatherings, was there. She kept her eyes straight ahead, pretending not to see him, and took a seat alone in the corner. The moment Gabriella's friends spotted Chloe, they began their good cop bad cop routine. "Gabby, how did you get Nick to come?" "Of course it's because Gabby loves a lively atmosphere. Everyone knows our school heartthrob only listens to her." Chloe couldn't be bothered with their petty games. She casually picked up a few oranges and started peeling them. Once everyone had arrived, the club president announced the start of a game. Though utterly uninterested, Chloe was pulled in, forced to muster some enthusiasm for this boring round of truth or dare. After 7 or 8 rounds, it was finally Nicholas's turn to lose. The room erupted in excited whoops. The school heartthrob drew a card. "Kiss any member of the opposite sex here for 3 minutes. Quick, quick. Who are you picking?" Chloe knew he wouldn't choose her. She didn't even care who he picked, focusing instead on rolling the dice in her hand. Just as she predicted, Nicholas chose Gabriella. But he made one request: turn off all the lights. The room plunged into pitch blackness. Only the sound of breathing and the occasional whisper from other members could be heard. 3 minutes later, the lights flickered back on. Nicholas sat down first. Gabriella stood frozen in place, her expression sour. The lipstick on her mouth was still vividly intact. Clearly he hadn't kissed her. Chloe shot him a faint, passing glance. Hearing the president announce the next round, she casually tossed her 3 dice. Unfortunately, they all landed on 1. The lowest possible roll. She was a good sport. Without a word, she drew a card from the deck. It was the exact same card. The identical punishment. Instantly, the expression on everyone's face shifted to excitement. Their eyes darted between Chloe, Nicholas, and Gabriella. Chloe acted completely oblivious. She gave the game's spinner a casual flick. The pointer landed on a junior boy sitting across from her. For a moment, everyone held their breath, thinking she would back out. But face unreadable, she stood up and walked directly over to the junior. "Sorry for the trouble," she said, her tone utterly nonchalant. The junior, looking stunned, began to stand up, when suddenly, Nicholas shot to his feet, violently kicking his chair over with a loud clatter. As everyone stared in confusion, he coldly cut in. "We've played long enough. I'm tired. Shouldn't we take a break?" The moment he spoke, his roommates chimed in agreement. The president had no choice but to announce a pause in the punishments. A few girls mentioned they were hungry, so several of the guys hurriedly dragged the other boys in the room downstairs to buy snacks. 20 minutes passed, and they still hadn't returned. The president, tired of waiting, announced the game would continue. Chloe put down her phone and looked around. It was then she realized the junior was gone. To be precise, all the boys were gone, except for Nicholas. She didn't need to guess. She knew this was another one of Nicholas's deliberate schemes. But she refused to play along. So, she picked up the 500-milliliter glass of alcohol in front of her, raised it in a gesture to the room, and declared, "My chosen partner left. According to the game rules, I choose to finish the punishment by drinking this." With that, Chloe threw her head back and, without changing her expression, drained the entire glass. Nicholas hadn't expected her to choose drinking over him. His face darkened instantly. His eyes, heavy and intense, watched the rapid flush spreading across Chloe's cheeks, his grip on the dice so tight they creaked. With half the people gone, the game lost its appeal, and the gathering soon disbanded. Chloe, slightly tipsy, waited until everyone had left before finally handing her withdrawal form to the president. Leaning against the wall for support, she headed for the stairs. Just as she reached the stairwell, her blurry vision made out Gabriella standing not far away. She tried to pretend she hadn't seen her and avoid a confrontation. But Gabriella grabbed her arm, eyes blazing with indignation. "What was that look you gave me after the lights came on? Let me tell you, even if Nick didn't kiss me, there's a reason for it. It represents his true feelings for me." Chloe almost laughed out loud, but she knew that no matter what she said now, Gabriella wouldn't hear it. So, she just nodded. "Yeah, you're right." As soon as Chloe finished speaking and tried to shake off her grip, Gabriella only held on tighter, hurling insults and refusing to let go. In the struggle, Chloe, already unsteady on her feet, was pulled off balance. She stumbled backward, tumbling all the way down the long, high flight of stairs. Startled, Gabriella lost her own footing and, with a shriek, followed right after, rolling down the staircase in a tangle of limbs. Hearing the commotion from upstairs, a few students who hadn't gone far quickly turned back to check. Seeing both girls were seriously injured, everyone panicked. In the end, it was Nicholas who contacted someone and had them both sent to his family's hospital. After examinations, the doctor diagnosed a bone fracture. "Without timely treatment," he said, "there's a risk of permanent disability." From the moment the two were injured, Nicholas's gaze hadn't left Chloe. Watching her deathly pale face and the sweat continuously beading on her forehead, he felt a sympathetic pang, his own heart aching along with hers. The operating room was ready, but only one specialist at the hospital could perform the surgery. Nicholas had to decide the order. He instinctively looked at Chloe and met her eyes directly. Gone was the usual attachment and fervor. All that remained was a deathly still calmness. That look made his heart tremble violently. "Young master, you need to decide quickly. Who goes first for surgery?" Chloe lay pale on the stretcher. Just before losing consciousness, she heard Nicholas's firm, clear voice declare the name. "Gabriella. Save Gabriella first." Soon, doctors wheeled Gabriella into the operating room. As the doors closed, Chloe completely passed out. She woke up a full day later. The first thing Chloe did upon opening her eyes was reach down to feel her leg. Feeling its presence and the sensation there, she let out a sigh of relief. Tears of survival welling in her eyes. Thank goodness she wasn't crippled. Chloe's parents, having received the news, arrived quickly and moved her to the VIP room on the top floor, tending to her carefully. 2 hours later, Gabriella was settled into the room opposite hers. Nicholas personally carried her in. To facilitate checks, both room doors were left open, allowing Chloe a clear view into the opposite room. Gabriella kept complaining of pain, and Nicholas would find various topics to distract her. When the bland hospital food from the logistics department didn't suit her taste, he went home himself and cooked many light, suitable dishes for her. When she was bored staying in the room, he found all sorts of fresh, interesting gadgets to amuse her. Over the 10+ days of hospitalization, the two became so intimate that even the nurses started gossiping, whispering about whether the hospital director was about to gain a daughter-in-law. Chloe listened quietly, not joining in, but she understood perfectly. Nicholas was doing all this just for her to see. After all, she had closed her room door hundreds of times, and every single time, almost immediately after it clicked shut, a nurse would come for a round. A 100% opening rate. That couldn't possibly be a coincidence, could it? On the day of her discharge, Chloe ran into them again in the underground parking garage. The moment Nicholas saw her, he directly picked up Gabriella, who was in the wheelchair, and placed her in the car. Leaning halfway out the window, Gabriella gave her a fake saccharine smile. "Chloe, I heard you live right across from Nick. Let us give you a ride." Chloe didn't even grace her with a glance, sliding straight into her parents' car. Back at her apartment building, she refused help, hobbling into the elevator on her own. The doors pinged open on the ground floor. And there he was. Nicholas, presumably just dropping off his precious cargo, stepped inside. Their eyes met. Silence. The elevator climbed. It stopped on their floor, the 17th. He just stood there, blocking the doorway. With a sigh, Chloe maneuvered around him, her crutch tapping on the tiles. She moved slowly, but he was slower, his gaze a heavy weight between her shoulder blades. Fumbling for her keys at her door, her crutch clattered to the floor. She leaned against the wall, slowly lowering herself to grab it. A shadow fell over her. Nicholas had crouched down too, his hand reaching as if to help. But the moment their eyes connected, his hand jerked back, fumbling instead with his own perfectly tied shoelace. A bitter smile twisted Chloe's lips. She grabbed her crutch, hauled herself up, and shut the door behind her without a word. Finals came around fast. Her leg was still shaky, but she could walk, so she decided to tough it out. She took a seat in the middle front row, avoiding the stairs. Nicholas escorted Gabriella in shortly after. Spotting Chloe, Gabriella immediately launched into a performance, whining about her leg and demanding the front row. Nicholas settled her right next to Chloe before taking the seat against the wall himself. The exam began. As the teacher took the final step off the platform, Gabriella made her move. A tiny, pre-crumpled ball of paper flew across the aisle, landing squarely on Chloe's desk. Chloe froze, her pen hovering. Before she could process it, the teacher turned. "I said no cheating," the teacher barked. "Chloe, your exam is invalidated." The penny dropped. This was Gabriella's setup. But Chloe wasn't going down without a fight. "Check the cameras," she demanded. But luck wasn't on her side. A power outage that morning had left the cameras dead. Watching the fake shock on Gabriella's face morph into smug victory made Chloe's blood boil. And Nicholas, he'd seen the whole thing. The teacher, wanting to be fair, called him over. As the sign of the family that funded the building, his word was practically law. Nicholas listened, his eyes cold. Then he glanced at Chloe and delivered the killing blow. Gabriella didn't cheat. Just like that, she was condemned. Teacher Zhao didn't hesitate. "Cheating, lying, and false accusations. This will be reported to the disciplinary board. I wouldn't be surprised if your past grades are reviewed." Chloe stood frozen, the world turning to ice around her. She'd thought, on a matter of truth, he'd do the right thing. She never imagined he'd lie so brazenly. Any defense was useless. She choked back the tears, shot him a look that held 2 years of shattered feeling, and walked out. Seeing the raw hurt in her red-rimmed eyes, a jolt of panic shot through Nicholas. He chased after her, blocking her path. "Chloe, I know Gabby was in the wrong, but you know how she is, she can't handle the gossip. Not a single sorry. Just excuses for her." Chloe almost laughed. Was she living in some twisted nightmare? "So that's your reason?" Her voice trembled with a fury she couldn't contain. She can't handle gossip, so I have to. You think because I followed you around like a puppy for 2 years, my feelings are bulletproof? That I'm some joke who can't be hurt? Seeing her like this, a nerve twitched under his eye. He grabbed her wrist. That's not what I meant. It's just one exam. You can retake it. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Make it up to me? She wrenched her arm free, her laugh sharp and hollow. You don't even like me. How exactly do you plan to do that? The sarcasm hit him like a slap. Who says I don't? The words tumbled out before he could stop them. He caught himself, his mind scrambling. Just trust me. I'll make it all up to you at the 100th confession. He was so close to spelling it out, saying yes. The old, controlled Nicholas would never have slipped like this. This was pure, desperate panic. But Chloe was long past caring. Fine, I'll be counting the days then. She pulled her hand back completely. The finality of the gesture stunned him. His voice actually softened. 3 days, Chloe. Just 3 days. I'll give you the answer you want. 3 days before D-Day, the sale of her apartment went through. She signed the papers without a flicker of emotion. I'll be out in 3 days. It'll be clean for the new owner. She saw the agent out. As the elevator door opened, Nicholas stepped out, holding 2 fancy takeout bags. He stared at the agent, then offered a stiff, "Good afternoon, sir." The second the elevator closed, Chloe turned to leave. "Chloe." He held out one of the bags. "I was in the area. Bought too much. Do you want it?" She glanced at the logo. It was from Guo Fu, her favorite. A place across town that required a 2-hour drive and an hour in line. He'd gone all that way, bought her favorites, and crafted this pathetic excuse. All to say sorry without actually saying it. She took the bag without a word. The moment she was inside, she tossed it. It sailed through the air in a perfect arc and landed with a definitive thud in the trash. 2 days to go. Chloe went to a print shop and dropped a small fortune on 10,000 thumb-sized cards. A quick trip to the dorm, and she had her roommates on board for a mission. Storm the main building on the 3rd, and unleash the paper storm. "Chloe, just let it go," one pleaded, aware of the recent drama. "After what he did, why put yourself through this? Yeah, he doesn't deserve you putting yourself out there again." Their concern warmed her, even now. "Don't worry," she said calmly. "I know what I'm doing. Just scatter them for me. I've already hired cleaners for the aftermath. This isn't a confession." The girls exchanged confused looks. What was she planning? Chloe just smiled, thanked them, and left. The day before she left the country, after handling all the paperwork at school, Chloe went home and started packing. She hadn't been there long, but nearly every item held the ghost of Nicholas. She found some boxes and started purging. The scarf she'd spent weeks knitting snipped into a pile of useless yarn. The ugly ceramic vase he'd outbid everyone for at the charity auction shattered on the floor. Every single cringe-worthy love letter fed through the shredder until it was just confetti. With the last box in the dumpster, it felt like she was throwing 2 whole years away. All that remained were 2 outfits. The dance dress from the day they met, and the plaid skirt from the photo on her lock screen for 2 solid years. She struck a match and watched them burn, the fabric curling and blackening until nothing was left but ashes. She stood up, turned, and found him there. Nicholas, staring at her from the sidewalk, his face a mask of confusion. "What are you doing?" "Taking out the trash," she said, her voice flat. Then she walked back inside without another glance. Dawn was just breaking when noise from across the hall woke her. She grabbed her phone, the screen blinding in the dark. Notifications were blowing up a group chat. It took her a second to place it. The secret chat she'd infiltrated a year ago to stalk his interests. She'd never left. He never knew she was in it. And his dorm brothers were having a field day. "Nick up already? Too excited to sleep?" "Duh. He's been trying on outfits since 11. So you're really gonna say yes to Chloe this time?" Her thumb paused. Then she saw his reply, longer than anything he usually typed. "It's not saying yes, it's mutual. We were always going to end up together. Now shut up and tell me which one." This one or this one? He spammed the chat with dozens of photos, suit after suit after suit. The group exploded. Oh my god, the effort. Who is this man? And what did he do with the Ice King? Damn, Pei. Never seen you like this. You've really got it bad for her, huh? Amid the chaos, his final message stood out, stark and simple. Yeah, I'm crazy about her. It's her or nothing. Chloe actually laughed out loud, the sound harsh in the quiet room. Leaning back against the headboard, she watched the sky lighten outside her window. 2 years of memories played like a bad movie. He's crazy about me. So he rejected me 99 times. Let me be the campus laughingstock. He's crazy about me. So he gave me the silent treatment and cozied up to Gabriella to make me jealous. He's crazy about me. So he lied right to my face and let me take the fall for his precious Gabby. If that was his idea of love, she wanted no part of it. The messages in the group chat kept coming, faster and faster. The guy staying on campus started blowing up the group chat with live photos. Seriously, it was only just past 7 a.m., but the plaza was already packed. Students, teachers, even people from off-campus were there. Some enterprising souls had even set up stalls selling bottled water and grilled sausages. The crowd was insane. All here for Chloe's 100th confession. Asterisk Nick, get over here now. Asterisk someone typed. Asterisk. If you wait any longer, you won't be able to squeeze in for your own big moment. Guess curiosity really does kill the cat. Chloe was about to close the app when Nicholas's new message popped up. Asterisk. Heading out now, you? Asterisk. A faint, bitter smile touched Chloe's lips. Asterisk. Yeah, I'm heading out too. Asterisk. Just not to the plaza. She was leaving for good. A part of her desperately wished she could see the look on Nicholas's face when those cards rained down. She wanted to know how he'd feel when he realized she was gone, already on a plane out of the country. But she knew she'd never see it. From today on, Nicholas Pei was nothing to her. She took her time getting up, changed into a fresh outfit, and did her makeup with a steady hand. After a quick breakfast of microwave milk and toast, she finished zipping up her last suitcase. The apartment was empty, eerily silent. She did one final sweep, her eyes scanning the barren rooms. Then she pulled out her phone. One by one, she blocked his number, his socials, every last digital thread connecting her to Nicholas Pei. A weight she'd carried for 2 years finally lifted. She grabbed her luggage and walked out without a backward glance, stepping into her bright, new future. At 8:55 a.m., the plaza was a sea of people, so dense that security had to be called for crowd control. Chloe's roommates gaped at the scene from their window. Whoa, with a crowd this big, word will spread across the whole campus in like an hour. Good, another said firmly. That's the point. Then no one can trash talk Chloe after she's gone. They chatted excitedly until the clock hit 8:59. The club president got the text Chloe was safe at the airport. He immediately rolled up his sleeves. She's clear. Let's do this. Everyone on the card team, cameras ready. Let's make sure she sees this epic moment before her plane takes off. The second the 9 a.m. alarm chimed, 2 girls rushed to the windows. With a coordinated heave, they pushed stacks upon stacks of cards from the 16th floor ledge. For a breathtaking moment, the sky filled with a blizzard of white paper, swirling and dancing as it fell. Look, it's snowing, some myopic kid in the crowd yelled. Every head tilted upward. As the paper fluttered down, people jumped and reached, snatching cards from the air, eager to read the message. Right in the center of the plaza, Nicholas looked up, a confident smirk playing on his lips. His friends whistled, impressed by the spectacle. She must have printed like 10,000 of these. Chloe really went all out. Well, look at our man Nick. You gotta make a big statement to claim what's yours and scare off the competition. Yeah. But what does it say? Her love letters were always so well written. Are these like 10,000 handwritten copies? Honestly, with Chloe's dedication, I wouldn't put it past her. Catch one for me, I wanna see.